Welcome back, Awakening Beauties. My name is Robin, in case this is your first time joining me, and today is my birthday. I am 51. I turned 50 last year and sort of had a little bit of a midlife crisis, I guess you could call it, and that led to a lot of overspending. Actually, there were a lot of things that led to my overspending last year, and I decided to do a no-buy year for 2023, which I've been documenting on this channel. And if you want to see how that journey's been going, I will link the playlist below, and you can follow along from the beginning of the year up until today and get all caught up. So this channel has not been niched down, and I cover a wide variety of topics, and I sort of consider this the intersection of beauty, fashion, and spirituality, but I'm adding another part to that. And so officially this is going to be the intersection of fashion, beauty, spirituality, and health, because if you don't have your health, you don't have anything.
If you haven't got your health, you haven't got anything.
As they say in Princess Bride. And so I've been on a journey of taking better care of my health this year. I quit smoking 2 times, and then the 3rd time was the charm, and I'm not gonna take it back up. And I've begun back over the past couple of months of exercising and trying to just take better care of my health. And I have a hair that is on my lip. Where are you? I think I just got it. But this being my birthday, as many of you I'm sure will agree with, on your birthday you tend to think about your life and where you're going and what lessons have I learned and what do I want for the future. And so I just jotted down 10 life lessons that I've learned in 51 years that I want to share with all of you. First one is something I say almost on a daily basis. This too shall pass. Yes, that is my mantra in life, because no matter what is happening around you, no matter if it's a bad thing, this too shall pass. It will not always be this painful. If you've gone through a very painful breakup or loss of family members or whatever it might be, the pain will not always be this intense. This too shall pass. When something stressful is happening, just like last year when I owed the IRS $10,000, and that $10,000 that had been slated for a trip my husband and I were planning to take, I was very upset. And I had a lot of shame and guilt and feelings about it, but I knew that this feeling, this situation, this too shall pass. Now, this also goes for good things that are happening in your life. Whenever I'm having a really good time with friends, like if I'm at an improv festival and we're laughing and having a great time, I tend not to take any photos, which sort of bums me out that I don't end up with photos after a really fun weekend or a really fun party that I go to or gathering with friends. And that's because I'm so in the moment and I'm thinking, this too shall pass. Be in it. Be present with this moment. Enjoy it because it will pass. So another thing that I live by is whenever something negative is happening in my life, I ask myself, when I'm on my deathbed, will this matter? 99.9% of the time, the answer is no. And so then I ask myself, will this matter 5 years from now? Will this matter a year from now? Maybe even a week from now, will it matter? And some stressful situations take a little time to get through, but ultimately, whatever it is probably not going to matter at the end of your life. So as quickly as you can be resilient and overcome the negative emotions about it and move into a neutral viewpoint about something that's happening, the better off you'll be. Third thing that I live by is choose the regrets that you can live with. And sometimes people ask the opposite, what can't you live with? What regrets do you not want to have? Well, I say there's no way we can do everything in life that we want. And sometimes we have to make choices. We have to make very painful choices. What regrets can I live with? This happened to me 7-8 years ago when I had left the religion that I was raised in. I was raised as one of Jehovah's Witnesses. And for me, continuing on as a Jehovah's Witness was a regret I could not live with because I did not believe in the religion anymore. So I had to make a very painful decision. And knowing that there was probably going to be certain outcomes when I walked away from it. And one of those outcomes was losing my friends and family. And that's ultimately what happened. But the pain of that loss was not as great as the mental anguish I was under trying to stay a part of something that I didn't believe in. It was no longer a part of my values, and I had to listen to my inner self and my higher self and do the painful thing so that I could live the life that I'm meant to live. So ask yourself, there are times where you have to make a decision where it seems like damned if I do and damned if I don't. But ask yourself, what regrets can you live with and be at peace with ultimately, versus what regrets will eat you apart that will be very hard to live with. Number 4, tell people how you feel about them. I'm still trying to work on this and get better at this. I'm still trying to tell people what I appreciate about them. This goes at work. I try to tell people things that I appreciate about what they do at work. And this was with friends, things that they're really good at that you appreciate about them. I have a wonderful example of this in a friend of mine who is so heartfelt and concise, precise, and eloquent when she tells you the beautiful things that she sees in you. I really want to emulate her more, and she's a great example of not holding back. And sometimes people will hold back giving compliments, and these are true heartfelt, like deepest soul emotion type of compliments, because it's almost like people are very, I don't know if it's that they feel like it's going to, that's the hair. Sorry, I was distracted by a hair that was going across my whole head. But yeah, sometimes people hold back, maybe because they feel like that it diminishes them in some way, that if they're hyping up somebody else, that they're not going to be seen for their accomplishments and what they're good at. And people will hold back out of jealousy, really. It's out of envy, jealousy, that people will hold back from telling people what they love about them. And when you can really do this, you love yourself more for being able to tell someone how much you love them. And it's a gift not only to them, but it's a gift to yourself in a way. So don't hold back. And everybody knows, this in your brain. The moment you walk out that door, or a loved one walks out the door to go to work or go anywhere, that might be the last time you see them. You never know. So tell people how you feel about them and don't hold back. Number 5 is practicing compassion towards people and towards yourself. That's a harder one sometimes. I am not anymore. I gotta reframe that. I was a number 1 self-critic. And there's nothing that you could criticize me about that I probably had not already criticized myself about. So having compassion for where you're at in life and how far you've come, and when you start doing that to yourself, then it's easier to do that for other people as well. And that other thing that that I was talking about is about telling people how you feel about them, not holding back. You gain more and more compassion towards yourself, and that just ripples out towards being compassionate towards other people. And knowing that, we're all flawed and we're all trying to do our best. And let's give people a little leeway, shall we? And being compassionate towards yourself leads me to number 6. Be your own best friend. Like I said, I can be the biggest critic, and I used to be the biggest critic towards myself. But I had to, especially when I lost my community of friends and lost my family, I had to become my own parent. I had to become my own best friend. And you think about the things that you would never say to your best friend. Why would you say those things to yourself? Oh, I'm so dumb. I'm fat. I'm a slob. I'm lazy. All those terrible things that you would never say to your best friend. And being your own best friend doesn't mean that you have a rainbows and sunshine view that is unrealistic of yourself. You know, we don't want to get narcissistic and not see our flaws and where we need to improve, but being loving towards yourself despite your flaws is a real gift. It's a real gift. And I tell you, being that way towards yourself will help you to be better towards other people. It just will. That is what I have seen in my life, that I am way less critical of other people as I used to be. And that scripture is so true. Judge not lest ye be judged. So be your own best friend. Number 7, realize that your parents did the best that they could. And parents screw up. Every parent screws up. And you're going to screw up. That's just the way it goes. Just remember that your parents were people who were very imperfect, who had children, and they made the best decisions that they could make at the time with the knowledge that they had. It took me a while to stop being angry at my parents for how they raised me. But now, even though they're shunning me and they're not in my life, I'm grateful for how I was raised in so many ways, and it's made me who I am now. And I am a strong woman, and I know who I am, and I have purpose, and I have so much joy in my life. Had it not been for all the things that I went through, I wouldn't be where I am today. So I like where I'm at, and I'm grateful. Number 8, this seems obvious, but do the things that bring you joy. And you've got to find the things that bring you joy. That is so critical. Whether it's a hobby, I do improv comedy. I love it. It brings me so much joy to make people laugh. My husband is a competitive paintball player. In fact, this weekend, he's out of town. He's in Chicago at a paintball tournament. It's so important to do things that bring you joy. And I don't know what it's going to be for you. Maybe you haven't found that thing yet, but keep looking, keep looking. And if you're in a depressed spot in your life, and certainly I've been through a lot of dark nights of the soul, anything that gives you that little bit of glimmer of, this is a little fun, I think I like this, then look into it more and see if that's going to be the thing. And it might not stay the thing for a long time. You might just need that thing for a few months. But whatever it is that brings you joy, just do more of that. Number 9, learn how to give a healthy no. This is all about setting boundaries. And I was a number 1 people pleaser. I always wanted to make people happy and get people's approval. And so I said yes to a lot of things that were a no. Learning how to give a no, not out of anger or resentment or bitterness, or how dare they ask me that? I can't believe they're asking me to do that. No. Giving it out of, no, this is my boundary. I respect you and I respect myself, and this is not for me. And thank you for considering me for this, or thank you for this offer. Even if it's an offer to do something for someone that you don't want to do for them. But recognize that if something is a no, if it doesn't feel like a hell yeah, then it's a no. And some things we do out of duty, out of responsibility towards family or friends. And you know, sometimes you just have to do those things and kind of suck it up. You got to choose your no's. But when something really doesn't resonate with you, and if you do it, you're going to feel resentful about it, or you're going to expect some kind of repayment from this person in some way, that's not a healthy yes. That's not a healthy yes. Don't do it. Give a no, be firm, and if you change your mind, which you're allowed to change your mind, and I've certainly done that myself, where I've said no and then turned it to a yes, depending on the situation. But either way, give it a healthy no. A no with love. And this is going to sound like maybe a contradiction to the last one, but number 10, say yes more than you say no. Say yes to that culinary experience, the food that you've never tried and somebody invites you to a restaurant that you've never gone to. Say yes to that invite to do an improv drop-in class, even though you're nervous and you say, I can never perform in front of people. Say yes to going on that trip where it's a location you've never been to and you feel nervous about it. Say yes to life more than you say no. Say yes to doing things that make you uncomfortable. That might be public speaking. That might be a Rotary Club type of situation. That might be improv. That might be taking an acting class. There's so many things in life as humans that we try to avoid because it's uncomfortable. It takes us out of our comfort level. And I believe that if you are just stuck in your comfort zone, that you're sort of stagnating in life. I like to mix things up and keep it exciting and interesting and try new things. Maybe that's a different type of fitness class. Maybe it's trying a new hair color. Maybe it's trying a new style, a new fashion trend that you don't think you could pull off. Why not? Give it a try. You know, these are all costumes we're putting on anyway. Everything in life is a costume. We as human beings are wearing a costume because you think this is who we really are. This isn't me. I have a freaking old soul that came here to live in this little 4'10" body and rock it out and have fun and laugh and be silly in this lifetime. This is who I came here to be, but this is not me. And this is not you. Don't get stuck in the outward appearance, and don't get stuck in keeping the same hairstyle and keeping the same Metallica t-shirt you were wearing in 1987. I don't know who I'm talking about, but maybe I'm talking about you. Maybe you're stuck and you need someone to shake you out of that stuckness. This is a playground. This earth is a frickin' playground. Have fun. Stop being so serious. Oh my God. Oh, life is so hard. How you doing? Not bad. Well, why aren't you doing great? You are doing great. Figure it out, man. Life is short. It's going to be over soon. And what regrets can you live with? And what regrets can't you live with? Well, I appreciate your time today and thanks for joining me. It's been a delight to go over my top 10 life lessons. I'm sure there's so many more, but these were the ones that just came to me very quickly as I was getting ready to film this video. Didn't even think I was going to film this video today, but here we are. So tell me, what life lessons have you learned? And what is your number one top life lesson? Leave it below. I want to read what your life lessons are. And do me a favor, if you've enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. And why not subscribe? Hey, it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. And if you're really brave, you'll hit that notification bell so that you know when I upload, usually about once a week. Well, thanks again for joining me. And guys, until next time, be kind to yourself. Be compassionate. You're doing great.